So Japheth, a question from Titus Watelo. Titus, thank you very much for joining. What knowledge areas are critical for a board member? Is there a course? Is there a PhD? Is there a master's? What should people do and what should they learn? Or what should they ignore? Thank you.
One of these, I don't want to call it a job. I don't know whether it is a job, but maybe a responsibility that that does not really have the syllabus and so on. But the biggest thing we need, it's the knowledge. It's applying your knowledge that you have from different fields, because we've talked about the diversity that we have. You can, of course, you'll attend courses to say, roles and responsibilities. You'll attend courses to in the specific areas, whether it be audit, whether it be risk, whether it be cyber, whether it be digital. But the important things really you need to know is, one, you use your knowledge that you have acquired through reading and so on. You use your experience that you have acquired through working, and I'm not saying 20 years experience and so on, but the experience and expertise you have got, and then see how do you apply that to oversee, to plan, to have the leadership, to show the tone at the top, to be able to lead others and give governance and give oversight. So it is a combination of that. So in other words, you can go and do a PhD in governance and so on. It does not really, you can put it on on your CV and so on. It does not necessarily put you through the nominating committee process of you getting on the board, because it is a demonstration. First of all, any good company that is looking for board members will have to identify and define what skills are they looking for in terms of knowledge, in terms of experience, and that you really need to fit into that one. And then of course the others, the due diligence of the integrity, ethics, what are you going to bring on the board, and then of course looking at managing the dynamics of diversity these days. Very, 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 very critical. I mean, so that you have a board that is diverse, and then how do you apply your skills? Will you be independent? And you asked the question about the shareholder, the dominant. Kate, I think, did ask the dominant shareholder. Yeah. As a board, we've also got to be conscious that the shareholder is a very powerful body. I mean, if your dominant shareholder is government, then when I hear you saying, but there is politics on the board, give you a break. I mean, the dominant shareholder is a political animal. So, but how do we balance it? In other words, if you have 10 XMPs all on the board, you may get into problems, may become a parliament other than passing laws or making the decisions. I don't want to mention the word nyege, I may get into trouble. Yeah, but this is really what it is all about. So the knowledge, the expertise, the experience, and then the demonstration that you can add that value because of your expertise and your experience. We would like to hear somebody on the board saying, yes, when I was doing this at such and such a place, we faced this challenge, and this is the way we did it. But then you also want, these days we want people called disruptors. Disruption used to be a very negative word, but these days people say, oh, we want a disruptor on the board. That person who is going to ask those questions where the experienced guys are saying, but do I ask that? And saying, hey, but you people, you are discussing this and this. Have you ever thought about this? And then you want that board member. So that's what it is. There is no, what do you call it, Grace? You like the word, is it a playbook? Is it a textbook? Is it the book? Yeah, that book is not there. But then, of course, I would encourage you, am I allowed, that there are organizations that are listed here in my back that can help you get those skills.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that, Japheth.